All right, so who's the doucher that started this thing where you just like drive around in your car videoing yourself?
Some nutbag, I guess.
I don't know. I've seen cops. I've seen...
It's now every idiot in the fucking universe is doing it.
Yeah. Because they had nothing else better to do with their fucking lives.
We're like, don't you just hate it when your balls itch?
All right, I'm going to mute out since we've got less than a minute.
I typically shower, and that kind of eliminates that.
Please remember, the views and opinions expressed by this show or any other show on DV Radio and its guests are strictly those of said individuals and do not reflect those of the DV Radio staff nor the staff of dysfunctional veterans.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Strap yourself in,
Because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
attention everyone.
You're tuned in live.
DV Radio.
Online and on the go on your mobile device.
Listener's discretion is advised.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's get ready to
Hey, you're listening to DV Radio with the old guy. I see Bo, who never leaves his couch for some reason. Google and Recoil, and I don't know where Marquis at.
I was going to say he probably went to Kruger.
The little garlic sauce is delicious. You alt-right neo-Nazi bastards better stop it right now.
If you use the cheap sauce, it don't taste good.
It tastes like ass.
And I've got an important message.
Joe Junkie and Carrie Crack are perfectly fine for Tombstone.
Well, Carrie Crack is perfectly fine. She did New Zealand. I wouldn't have sex with Brad Pitt.
How can you even read that with a straight face? Well, I've heard that many like short and tuna can growth, so I'm winning in that round apparently.
You're tuned in to WDVR on DVRadio.net or by searching DV Radio on your TuneIn app on your favorite mobile device.
Because this is how it is on DV Radio.
That's right. This is Barracks Talk. It's DVRadio.net, WDVR. I'm Boner Wood. It is December 22nd, 2018. In a few days, it is Christmas. This is our Christmas show special. That's why the intro sounded the way it did. We have Recoil, Google, Oink, somewhere in a barrel in the middle of an ocean, in a well, in a submarine with the steel bars around his neck is Bender, because that's what it sounds like. And DV6 isn't here tonight. What's everybody up to?
Hanging out in my old submarine.
In my yellow submarine. Keep it going. Let's go. Keep it going.
Holding things down here in Alaska. No recent aftershocks that's shaking us any, so we're doing good, man.
Well, that's
I can't even hear the word aftershock after drinking a bottle of it when I was 19.
Well, there was a challenge up here that every time we had an aftershock, you were going to take a shot. And I think if they would have stuck to that, I think they would have been dead by now.
Right.
Over 5,000 aftershocks since the big one. So, yeah, I don't think they're surviving that.
Wow. Jesus Christ. But, yeah, it is our Christmas show special because I don't think we're going to do a show on Christmas Day. Sorry, guys. We're just not going to do that. But we are going to try and keep it Christmassy throughout the show, if that's even a word anymore. Because, I mean, offending people. Yeah, don't want to.
I've decorated my crotch with balls.
I actually thought about making my mom go out and get some miniature ornaments, like the real tiny ones, and put them all in my beard. But yeah, it's Saturday. You put those on your balls. I actually watched a. There used to be a show that came on A&E, I believe it was, and they would do tattoos and piercings. And this guy goes into the piercing parlor and gets jingle bells attached to his testicles. Yeah. No joke.
Snafu's on tonight, Speak of the Devil. We were just talking about you, fucker. Glad to see you on.
Snafu! I love his little emoji there on dbradio.net. That's our chat there that you guys can go to. If you're wondering, yeah, their chat. If you're wondering why we're always talking about our listeners, they're right there in chat. dbradio.net. It says chat. Just click on chat.
Where if you listen live, it can be interactive.
That's right.
Radioactive. Radioactive.
See, this is when you wish you had like a 10,000 terabyte computer that was a beast from hell, and you had all these sound bites like that.
This is when you wish you had a mute button.
So, DB6, I believe, went up to Boston today.
Yes, he did. He did several live videos during the course of the day.
Okay, well, see, I was working all
from Aston.
Yeah, because I had to wait till the last minute to get today's show ready. So,
he was doing another one of the bag deliveries from all the bags that people purchased off of the DV website, mydvstore.com.
Nice. Yeah. He did mention that he wanted to thank everybody that showed up to help today. It brought joy to each and every one of them. He mentioned a few people that was up there, and I honestly cannot remember all the names he listed off. Do you remember?
I know you mentioned Salty Soldier, had a representative there from Salty Soldier. Now you put me on the spot.
Some really cool motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Someone from Comac, Carl, was there. Yep. This guy came from the Cape, and someone else drove all the way down from Maine to help out, and Six sent him back with some bags to pass out up there.
Nice.
Oink comes all the way from Alaska to help us on DV Radio.
It's a long trip, I'm telling you.
Oh, me. So,
I think Six said that he's going to go back out there next week. I don't fucking know.
Is he doing something for Christmas, after Christmas? Or you just...
Like Saturday. I think.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's, 3 weeks in a row now? So...
Oh, God.
So
he's like, a lot of the city hasn't been covered yet. I'm like, no shit, Boston is pretty fucking big. Especially when we're talking homeless.
Right. Anybody that's listening, whether you donated, you shared, or you just helped spread the word, thank you so much for helping get those bags together and making it a reality to be able to do that. Hopefully next year we can make it into something a little bit bigger and spread out a little bit further. There's no promises, but we'll try to do what we can. And I'm surprised at the ongoing support and feedback from it, because usually people want to help, but something like this, it's a little harder to do, especially for small businesses and stuff like that. But it was just overwhelming. I mean, the questions, people wanting to jump in and do it, it's just crazy in the best possible way. That's the best way to say it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do, you always get the fucking idiots that bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why only Boston? Well, hey, at least they're fucking doing something. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's not just Boston. That's where he's starting. We're gonna have lots and lots of bags. I mean, we'll probably end up passing some out just in downtown fucking Keene, because there's plenty of homeless vets there too.
Yeah.
And if there's an organization out there that you know of that's like in our neck of the woods, that could use some assistance with bags like this, reach out and let us know.
Yeah, and to add on to what Recoil and Google said, a lot of people were saying, come out to San Diego or Washington or wherever, and it's like, dude, we're one person doing this. Literally, it's DB6 doing it. Google has her shit she's got to do. The farm manager has his shit he's got to do. I live in North Carolina and am fucking crippled. Recoil's shitting out of his ass. Fucking Oink's stuck in Alaska with fucking earthquakes shaking his fucking teeth out. Bender's over there in a fucking submarine in a fucking hole in a log at the bottom of the sea. So, I mean, it's harder than you guys think.
Bottom line is, get a hold of Six. He'll tell you how to get it set up. You can volunteer, take the time, get the shit together. We'll help you promote it. And you can pack the bags and get people to distribute them in your area. I mean, we'd love to see this thing grow, but that's going to take volunteers.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I'm sure that if there's anyone that's part of a nonprofit or organization that wants to team up or something and somehow do it together, like a bag homeless thing next year or whatever, please hit us up. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to do something like that, or get the information and work something out. Yes, Google.
No, I was just going to agree with you.
Oh, I thought for a second I thought you were like, no, because I'm going to get 5,000 fucking emails tonight.
Right? At least she's not mad at us anymore.
Yeah.
I'm here for the fans.
I can tell she's mad. That's why I'm not trying to fucking push it right now. I told you guys she would be. I fucking told you. I called it.
Yep. If anybody caught those videos of those, veterans catching those bags or getting, receiving those bags, the look on their faces, the gratitude in their eyes, the handshakes that they shared and everything, I mean, it was well worth it, I think.
Yes. To add on.
Fucking DV Tree says, any woman that would marry DV6 deserves a meritorious unit.
To add on to what Oink said about seeing them in the videos and all, that's another thing that we're going to have rolling out in the next couple of weeks over the next month probably, is videos showing, when Six done it, some interviews with some of the homeless people, their thoughts on, the VA and stuff like that. So you can see from their perspective, not just a third party on the outside looking in that knows everything because you read Facebook. And I don't mean that to sound like a dickhead, but it's true. You go to Facebook and everybody's an expert in everything because they seen a post about a meme about a dude that done something in 1972 that has no leverage. So you get to see it from the people that lives it. What's that?
It's the year before I was born. My daddy was the dude that did something in 1972.
So a certain woman that loves me very much the other day talking about, done something in 1972. We were talking about doing something. And she goes, I was swinging in 1969. And I was like, no, mama. It was in 1970. She was like, October's my birthday. I was like, yeah, that's 10 months. It had to have been in January. She went, and she started counting on her fingers. Her face
does too.
Her face turned so fucking red. She went, I guess you're right, but I was swinging somewhere at some time. I forgot what we were talking about. Oink said, God bless your mama. She's over here fucking laughing her ass off. I forgot what we were talking about, but somehow got to talking about swinging in testicles. Oh, we were talking about Stewie and shit.
I alone had reached the target objective thanks to the peerless intrepidity I developed at Testicular Boot Camp. But it was a trap. I was imprisoned in that uterine gulag for 9 grueling months.
That's what we're talking about. From Family Guy. Anyway, enough sex talk here on Barracks Talk.
I know. I thought this was the
last
Christmas
week.
show.
Sorry, I'm still trying to get over my cold. I actually listened to a couple of our Christmas shows that we've had in the past couple years. Every year
You've
around
had Christmas shows?
Yeah. Every year around Christmas, I am sick. You can hear it. I'm sitting there going, hey, everybody. This is Boner Wood. You're listening to TV Radio. Like every fucking year.
My fucking sinuses just opened up about a half an hour ago.
Mine still haven't opened up, and it smells like I'm being fucking smothered by a fat chick on a moped.
When it left loose, it was like listening to a shit pipe with rotor-rooters at the sun.
I actually woke myself up this morning coughing. I woke up and I was like,
That's funny because Six said he was coughing all night too.
And well, that's the thing. I don't cough all night. I'll cough here and there, But this morning it was horrible. I guess a lot of that gunk got like thrown to the back of my throat, and it was like, oh, motherfucker, you gonna wake up or die.
This is one of those occasions that makes me think about how glad I am that I finally quit smoking. Because that fucking, you want a cigarette so damn bad, even though you know it's gonna fuck your shit up, and you're that sick, and your lungs are all fucked up, sore.
Oh my god!
You're and like, then, goddamn, I'm gonna smoke me a Marlboro. Ain't nothing gonna stop me.
And then as soon as you take that first draw, you're like,
yeah. and the filter sticks to your lips, and you burn your fingers with a cherry.
Oh my god, that's the worst feeling ever.
That sounds like a personal problem right there.
Oh shit. So
what was her name?
What was her name? So speaking of what DV6 has been doing, do we still need lumber and or lumber donations for these?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So we do still need lumber donations as of December 22nd, 2018. Oh my god. Anyway, so I'm saying that because DV6 said a few videos ago that we may have somebody helping us with the lumber, but until he says otherwise, we still need lumber donations, whether it's actual lumber or Home Depot gift cards for the lumber. That's for the Quonset hut stalls and the barn stalls, to my knowledge, unless...
Well, the stalls aren't until...
What's with the auto-tune?
I didn't want to say anything.
More than meets the eye.
Sorry. Autobots. Roll out.
So
I gotta tell you guys something funny. It's got nothing to do with notations and stuff. So every year for Christmas we go to my sister's house, and I was talking to my sister, and she said that for Christmas this year we're having ham and scalloped potatoes and salad. And I was like, all right, I'll make sure that Six brings a veggie for himself because he doesn't do salad, right? So she said, and normally we bring mashed potatoes, but she said no mashed potatoes this year. So then she sent me a text early, and it was so funny. She goes, "Scalloped potatoes have been unanimously voted down here. Kids pretty much staged a walkout when I said no mashed potatoes." So we're having mashed potatoes. So Six is in charge of making mashed potatoes. I'm like, that's hilarious. They were like, "Fuck you! I quit Christmas." Oh man, I'm sorry. All right, that's all.
If you are not wanting to get a Home Depot gift card, or you're unable to actually give lumber as a donation and you still want to donate, go to dbfarm.org. When you get into the website, there's a donate tab. You can go through PayPal. You can also use a credit or debit card. A lot of people ask if you have to have a PayPal account. No, you don't. As soon as you click on donate and then you go to the PayPal link, it asks you if you want to use a credit or debit card or log into your PayPal account. So you can do either one of those. Again, that's dbfarm.org. Also, to give back to the DB Farm while you're doing some shopping online, go to smile.amazon.com. Make DB Farm your charity of choice. No hidden fees or extra costs. And it all goes back to the DB Farm. You just buy what in the hell you normally buy. Go to checkout, and a portion of your shopping cart goes to DB Farm. Again, that's no cost to you. That's, again, smile.amazon.com. Be sure to make DB Farm your charity of choice.
No date button.
Well.
Oh man.
I wish I had fucking electric sound bites right now. Oh my god. Anyway, what else did DB6 want to put out, Google?
I don't know. He didn't say anything else.
Well,
he said just the thing about everyone that showed up in Boston, and thank you for helping pass out bags.
And then he told me that Google had the rest. As he always fucking does. That's why I'm sitting here like, that's not what Six said. Of course, we were all sitting here going, sorry.
Well, we've gotten a lot, and I mean a lot, of packages in over the past several days with Christmas gifts for the vets from their wish lists. I took a look at the wish list today, and I think everything on there that was still available to be purchased, because some of the stuff, because it was on there for so long, they're out of stock on Amazon. So, and they don't know like when they'll restock or if they're going to. So there's a couple things left on the Christmas list, but you can't buy it on Amazon. You can purchase it somewhere else, I suppose. Anyway, but pretty much everything has been purchased, which is awesome. Of course, that meant that I've had to wrap over 100 Christmas gifts, but that's okay. They'll have it. They're gonna have a good Christmas this year.
The one thing I want to
Army kicked the crap out of Houston in the bowl.
One thing I wanted to ask you, Google, is I don't know what they sent up to you guys. I just know it was a couple of books, but the books from What the Fuck, Meet the What the Fucks, the WTF guys.
Yes. I think that they sent us 3 different kinds, so I'm assuming that they sent all of their books to us.
Okay.
If they have 3 out.
Okay. I didn't get to talk to them much because it was through Twitter comments. It wasn't via DM or anything, and I'm not personally got to talk to them in a while. But huge shout out to those guys. If you go to dbradio.net and look at the top, you can help the DB Farm and another veteran-owned business who is the authors of Meet the WTFs. Right now, just click on one of those images. It'll take you to Amazon and their website as well. You can purchase any of their books, and a portion of that goes to the DB Farm. A huge shout out to those guys. They might be, Air Force, but it's okay. I mean, they're lazy, but it's all right.
I was actually debating on whether or not I want to wrap the books and put them under their tree. But that means that I would have 12 more gifts to wrap.
Well, just throw them in a stocking.
I didn't do a stocking for them. There's a DV that did a stocking, and it's filled to the top, so I can't shove it in there.
I'll tell you what to do, Google. Just get one of those plastic grocery bags for each of them, and put stocking on it, and then throw it in there. Be like, back in my day, this is what we got, and you were lucky to get an orange and a candy cane. Man, have you guys seen the meme where it has the embankment, snow-covered embankment, and it says, apparently my grandparents walked this every day to school with no shoes? Because, a lot of elder folks is always like, when I had to go to school, I had to walk in 12-foot snow with no shoes or holes in my shoes, and I had to walk all the way to school up a hill. I don't know how many of y'all have heard that. Yeah, I've heard that so many fucking times from every fucking old person. It's like, where the fuck did you live? Mount Everest? Like, seriously.
I've always wondered that too. I'm like, okay, I can understand if you have to go over a hill to get to school, then you're walking uphill both ways. But some of these schools were at the top of a hill, so you only have to walk up the hill once.
Yeah, but still, all of our grandparents walked up a fucking hill in 12-foot snow with no shoes or holes in their shoes to go to fucking school. Everybody's grandparents did, apparently. And today it's just like, we have flat surfaces all of a sudden. It's like,
I can't say that. My grandparents were from Illinois. It's flat as fuck.
Well, it's like watching Blade Runner or Judge Dredd and being like, oh, we fly now. But back in my day, we had to put gas in a car and actually drive on a road. Like, what the fuck?
Interesting.
Next week, you guys, if you don't know it, we have a sponsor, Nightcap Productions, What the Forecast, and Backseat Navigator. We'll talk about those in a little bit. But next week, the creator and owner of Nightcap Productions, Billy King, is going to be right here on Barracks Talk for our last show of 2018. That's December 29th, 2018. And it'll start the new year on January 1st. That Tuesday. So next week is our last Barracks Talk.
That's a brave fella right there.
Oh, let me tell you what. Man, he's talked to Oink, he spoke to me, and every time we talk to him about the show, he's like, dude, I'm so nervous. And I'm like, what are you nervous about? What could you possibly be nervous about?
Us.
Right?
He's more like us than he would ever really imagine,
He is. I could talk to that man all fucking day and not get tired. He's one of those people where you can talk to and not really have that much awkward silent moments. But then there's those people where you can talk and say one thing, and then for like 5 hours you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs wondering if you should leave their house or not. He's not that person. Yeah, exactly, Recoil. We're that show. Yes, Spooky Cat, we finally got him. Oink, do you have the Backseat Navigator?
I do.
Why don't you tell our great listeners about that app that they can get on their iOS and Android apps stores?
I tell you what, the Backseat Navigator is awesome, and it's your typical, navigation device where you can put it on your phone and travel around. But it's not one of those that say is politically correct. It's one of those that if you make a left turn when you're supposed to make a right, you could hear this lady in the background just yelling at you. It's totally awesome. It's one of those that by all means is parental advised. Don't have your young ones in the back seat while you're listening to it. But if you're by yourself, you're going to find yourself making wrong turns on purpose just because. It's awesome. I mean, I've done that several times through my neighborhood, making a left turn when I'm supposed to make a right, just so she could yell at me.
Well, you make 3 more lefts and you're back on track.
Exactly. But the Backseat Navigator makes your trips a lot more interesting. And even when there's awkward silence in the car, she sometimes speaks up and asks you what the hell you're doing. So it's a great app. It really is. If you like, what the forecast as far as when it comes to weather, you're gonna like your Backseat Navigator when it comes to traveling.
Yeah. And again, that's Backseat Navigator. You can get that on your iOS and Android app stores on your mobile devices. And he did mention What the Forecast. If you guys don't know what the Forecast is, it's a weather app with some adult humor. And when we say adult humor, we mean it says things like, it's cloudy and wet, like your mom. And other cute and interesting things like, it's cold outside. If the mice were smarter, they'd break into your friggin' attic and throw a rad party. So, I mean, yeah, it's pretty fucking hilarious. It adds a little humor to your day, especially when it's shitty outside. So go to your iOS and your Android app stores, download WT Forecast and Backseat Navigator today, and show your support for our great sponsor. And please tune in next Saturday, December 29th, 2018, to hear us interview the nervous Billy King, who is the owner and creator of those apps. Yes.
The What the Forecast app has my forecast for tonight. It says tonight's weather is the exact opposite of dope.
Soap. Let me see what mine says.
You can share your annoying weather on Facebook. That's just a suggestion the app gives.
Oh, cool.
But this one's funnier. My soul is as cold and black as this night.
Let's see what mine says.
Shit like that. It's shit like that makes it fun.
I love the loading screens, too. If you have loading screens enabled, it also puts up funny-ass quotes as well.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, my loading screen said, when you share your dumb weather on Facebook.
My weather forecast for tonight, it's 32 degrees out, and it says, it's cold outside. Make sure you aren't the asshole who didn't wear a jacket.
What's funny about that is for the first time ever, I actually did share the dumb weather on Facebook.
Oh my God!
I was like, really? Thunderstorms in December? Like,
no joke.
Got like 65 degrees from 35.
Oh my God! It was crazy. You know what? Six told me today. He goes, "We only have 2 days left to get snow because we were gonna have a fucking white Christmas until it rained."
It was nuts. Thunder and lightning, the whole 9 yards.
Oh man!
No joke. The loading screen for mine just now said, the guy who made this app is an idiot. I'm not even joking. Not even joking.
Oh, man.
Oh,
that's
my
great.
It is.
Mine for Palmer, Alaska. You can see them, but the clouds are all tossing each other's fucking salads. So there you go. Download the apps today.
Salad tossing clouds.
That's right.
Better hope there's no romaine lettuce in that salad.
All right. Oh my God, the robot came back.
Uh-huh.
Jesus Christ. I'm glad I didn't have a hearing aid. That would have been
I take mine out for the show.
Oh, dude. If you had it in just now. I can only imagine. But anyway.
It doesn't work well with headsets.
I thought you had the small one.
I do, but it's like behind my ear and my headphones are on ear.
Oh,
so
I thought
I can hear the room noise louder than what's in the headphones. It's great.
I thought you had the one that went inside your ear canal. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's take a break. Let them get into the Christmas spirit with these 2 Christmas songs that's in the break. And when we come back, we'll talk about Christmas stuff, I guess. I don't fucking know. I didn't know what to do because I talked to nobody all fucking day. Anyway, you're tuned into Barrett's Talk right here on... What?
I was going to say, I never got an itinerary.
It's in chat on Zoom.
In 1985, a black bear found and ate $15 million worth of cocaine. There was probably a 5-minute window before he died where he was the most dangerous apex predator in the fucking continent.
So think about that while you hear these 2 songs that's in the break. You're listening to Barrett's Talk right here on dbradio.net.
DV Radio.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas! Okay, everybody, gather round. It's time for a Christmas story. Hey, no, I said sit down and shut up. Okay, 'twas the night before Christmas, and with Dad at the whorehouse, and Mom smoking grass, I had just settled in for a nice piece of ass.
Excuse me, bitch!
Then all of a sudden, there arose such a clatter. I sprang from my piece to see what was the matter. Out on the lawn, I saw a big prick, and said to myself, son of a bitch, that must be St. Nick. He came down the chimney like a bat out of hell. Obviously, that fucker had fell. He filled our stockings full of pretzels and beer and a big rubber dick, my brother, the queer. Madonna. He flew up the chimney with a thunderous fart. Motherfucker nearly blew it all apart. As he flew away and out of sight, he yelled, "Piss on you all and have one hell of a night." You're listening to WDVR, only on DVRadio.net.
We are back to Barrett's Talk right here on DVRadio.net. This is our Christmas show.
It's very festive.
Yeah, Google sent me a message and I was reading it and then I was going to ask her what part she wants to do, but then I was like, why don't I just type it to her? And then I was like, I can't type and talk because I'll say what I'm thinking or vice versa. So yeah.
Been there, done that.
Right. Wait, Giggle, I've got to read all the way up to that? Is that what you're saying? You've got to unmute.
Yeah, but it's only like 6 pages with barely anyone.
No, I'm just making sure that that's what you want me to do. Is you want me to read up until that point,
right? And
then, are you going to read the rest of the book? Is that what you're wanting to do?
No.
Okay.
Then I'll read like the next 6 pages.
Okay. All right. What we're talking about is a couple of weeks ago, we had Mike Guardia on the show with his new children's book, World War II Night Before Christmas. He couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately, but he wanted us to go ahead and read that book here on the show tonight. If you want to grab that book, go to smile.amazon.com, make DP4 your charity of choice before you do so, of course, and look for World War II Night Before Christmas by Mike Guardia. He is also the co-author of How More on Leadership and a lot of other books, which are fucking spectacular. Hopefully we have him back on at the beginning of 2019 to talk about his upcoming projects. Anyway, would you guys want to hear it now? You want to wait a few minutes? How you want to do this?
The pictures are awesome in this book. Kudos to the artist. He had to draw everything.
Yes, Melanie Stevens. Hopefully that's a she.
Or at least identifies that way.
Right. Jesus Christ. But if you guys want to, we'll go ahead and me and Google will go ahead and read it since Recoil and Oink do not have a copy at the moment. For some reason, why don't you guys get one? Huh? Yeah. Anyway.
I know, right? I ordered, you know what I did? The night that we had them on, I went into my Amazon account and I added it to my bag so I wouldn't forget when I placed the order.
Nice.
So it was sitting in there for like 4 days before I put my order in.
Really quick, on the back, he's got a review from Big Blend Radio and TV Magazine that says, a thoughtful and fresh perspective of the popular poem The Night Before Christmas. Mike Guardia's beautifully illustrated new children's book, World War II, Night Before Christmas, shares a heartfelt glimpse into the sacrifices Allied troops made during World War II, along with the joyful dose of Christmas spirit. So you guys know if it says something like that, it's going to be joyful. But as Google did mention, the illustrations are just, they're beautiful to be a children's book. Usually, usually it's something, bright colored and kiddish, doodleish, looks like that. But this looks like somebody wanted to make portraits and actual scenes to put in a frame and hang up on a wall. That's what it actually looks like. But without further ado, we'll begin World War II, Night Before Christmas by Mike Guardia. Illustrations by Melanie Stevens.
Nicely done.
That's for making fun.
Right. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when along the front lines, the whole U.S. Army was in a race against time. The GIs dug foxholes in the forest with care in hopes that the Nazis soon would be there. Together we huddled with feelings of dread, while visions of D-Day replayed in my head.
On this night before Christmas, 1944, not a trooper was happy to be fighting this war, but the world was in trouble and we answered the call to get rid of the Nazis once and for all. It was freezing that night, nearly 15 below, with nothing to protect us from the wind and the snow. But Joe with his mortar and me with my gun stood ready to fight till this battle was won. When out from the woods there arose such a clatter, I sprang to my feet to see what was the matter. I steadied my rifle, my hands on the trigger, as that sound in the woods grew bigger and bigger.
That rumbling sound then grew to a roar, and I yelled, "The Nazis are coming! Let's give 'em what for!" When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. "Hold your fire!" I yelled, for I had reason to pause. "Joe, am I going crazy, or is that Santa Claus?" Yes, old Saint Nick himself was perched on that seat with a cigar in his teeth and jump boots on his feet. A steel pot helmet sat snug on his head, and fatigues had replaced his bright suit of red. The rank of a general sat high on his collar, and with a cup of his hand gave the reindeer a holler. "Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer, now Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen."
Louder than panzers, his coursers they came, and halted the sled as he pulled up the reins. He flung from his shoulder a green duffel bag, and approached our position with a true GI swag. From his boots to his brow he was a soldier sensation, though his belly and beard were beyond regulation. He said not a word, but went straight on his way, to fill up our foxholes with goods from his sleigh. There were jackets and blankets and warm winter clothes and new leather boots for our frostbitten toes. There were sleeping bags, coffee, and rations brand new. "Merry Christmas," he said, "to the red, white, and blue. The Nazis are naughty, but you GIs are nice. And when you're on my list, I don't need to check twice."
"Gee, thanks a lot, Santa," I said with delight. "Now we've got what we need for the upcoming fight. We're gonna beat those Nazis and the rest of their ilk. But I'm sorry we ain't got no cookies or milk." But old Father Christmas kept his Yuletide composure, and with a wink of his eye, placed his hand on my shoulder. "Rest easy, young sergeant. I've accomplished my mission to bring holiday cheer to his combat division. See, I know the difference between what's wrong and what's right, and I reward those who fight the good fight." With that, he turned and shuffled back towards his sleigh, stowed his green duffel, and was soon on his way. But I did hear him holler, as he rode out of sight, "Merry Christmas, my troops, and to all a good night." You've just heard World War II, Night Before Christmas by Mike Guardia. Illustrations by Melanie Stevens. Narrated by Google and Bonerwood. The book is beautiful. He keeps with the original flow and the masterful rhyming, if you will, of the original poem Night Before Christmas.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Christmas.
One thing I do love about how he wrote this is the fact that he calls them Nazis as we called them back in the 40s and up until just recently, actually.
Well, a lot of it's authentic, like terminology, like what for.
Yes.
And Santa burning a pipe.
Yes, that was another thing. He's sitting there. The picture shows Santa in an actual fatigues, like you would find an officer back in the day, with his helmet, and he's got a cigar burning red in his mouth. I mean, it's beautiful, honestly. I know that sounds cliche, but there's not many children's books where I'm looking at picture-wise, and I'm like, you know what? That's a beautiful book. That's something I'd like to have. But this one right here, the attention to detail in the words, the pictures, and I mean, they even show emotion on these soldiers' face when you look at it. There's even a nice list in here. When Google was reading about Merry Christmas, he said, to the red, white, and blue, there is a picture of a nice list, and it names off soldiers like Sergeant Herbert James Wheeler, Private Benjamin Lee McGee, Lieutenant Lucas Jasper Nelson, and it just goes on a few more names. They have a picture of like the food crates and cans, actually. It's nice to see something that shows history instead of bending to this PC mentality that we've got going on today.
And he's put a lot of thought into it, obviously.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, he did. He did not just throw this together one day. You can tell. Like I said, not just the pictures, but what he has said. Like Recoil said, he kept with the words of the time and the terminology and all. So, kudos to Mr. Mike Guardia. Again, you can go to MikeGuardia.com, check out his website, and you can go to Amazon.com and purchase the book. Again, that's World War II, Night Before Christmas. So,
next topic.
Well, if I'd have gotten in touch with anybody before fucking 8:30, we'd have topics.
I never saw anything in our internal chats on Facebook.
You know what?
I didn't know if you were trying to reach anyone.
So I figured out why you didn't get my chats today. Apparently, Facebook wanted to say, fuck you, Bo. I'm not sending any messages today. It didn't send messages to you, Recoil, and 2 other people I sent earlier today. So I had no clue that you guys didn't get any of my messages until later on.
So you thought we said, fuck you, Bo, we're not talking to you.
We were too busy fucking with Google to have an itinerary for the evening.
Right.
We love you, Google.
No.
We do. Seriously.
Hey, what's Christmas all about to you guys? Like, what's the, I can't really ask the question right now because I have a news story about it.
You ask the question, then you go, I can't ask the question because it relates to something else I want to talk about.
All right, I'll ask this one. I was unaware that that Jesus had to flee his home with Mary and Joseph.
Say that again?
Did you guys know? I was unaware that Jesus had to flee his home with Mary and Joseph. And that's when they went to Egypt.
I don't think they had. No. That
was the Jews.
Yeah, that was the Jews.
Well, according to someone in Congress, that is what happened. Jesus had to flee his home with Mary and Joseph. It is a good thing that there was no wall in Egypt, because that's where they went.
The only time that Jesus fled was when they were trying to kill him, and he didn't flee. He went to help people. Or so a 2,000-year-old book says. I went there.
What do we know? Shit.
2,000-year-old book made on onion paper by men, you know, talks about magical things.
Onion paper making me hungry, Bill.
Do what? What was that?
I said, onion paper.
It's the only thing I can think of at the top of my head. Actually, they would have used like lamb skin and goat intestines and shit.
He's like onion paper. You're just thinking about the Jews and their bagels.
You know, I've had one bagel in my entire life, and I fucking hated it because it was so fucking tough to bite into.
Dude, you had a lousy bagel.
I was like,
I
fuck
know,
this
right?
shit.
Holy
Fuck this
shit.
I got it somewhere like highfalutin society people go to all the time. I forget now where it was at.
Well, obviously, they don't know what a good bagel is.
It was probably fucking McDonald's.
Has McDonald's ever had bagels?
Actually, they do. They have
the Burger King croissant.
They have a ground beef labia bagel and egg.
Oh,
Really?
I forgot to get croissants for Christmas. Oh, yeah. Maybe
Google-
I'll look up a recipe for croissants.
Google has got to listen to this podcast. Just to hear.
The robot.
Yeah,
We love you, Google.
so she can hear the Robertsons fucking Lost in Space robot come in every little bit when she talks.
She's like, danger, Bonerwood. Danger.
Anyway. So, we'll go around the Zoom table. I've got Recoil to my left up here. What are you doing for Christmas?
I ain't doing shit, man. I'm gonna lay here and try to fucking recover so that I can go back to work.
The Zoom table.
Oink?
Well, I got the in-laws that live up here with me, so we're spending time with them. And, just typical family Christmas.
You've seen
Send
young...
Boink whiskey. Got it.
Please, I need to make it through this shit.
So me and Oink talk a lot when we're not doing the shows and stuff, and we're just talking offline. We talked about your Outlaws the other night. You've seen Young Guns and Young Guns 2, correct?
Of course.
You remember when Billy the Kid on Young Guns 2 goes, "Yoo, I'll make you famous."
Yoo-hoo. I'll make you famous.
As soon as you said Outlaws, that was the first thing that came to mind. I can see you telling your mother-in-law, "Yoo, I'll make you famous."
Yoo-hoo. I'll make you famous.
And then just slapping her upside the head with a fucking bass or something. Like, I don't know why I get that imagery every fucking time I hear you say that, but...
Well, there is a little story, and I'll fill you all in. It was, several years ago now, but first time she came out to Idaho when I was stationed down there, and we're having Christmas night, or, Christmas Eve, and it's hours before. I mean, the kids are in bed, we're ready to go to sleep. It's just the parents that are up, and the wife decides she wants to hang more Christmas lights, not outside, inside the house, like around the cabinets and stuff inside the kitchen. And it's like, what the hell? It's 8:30 at night. The kids are going to be up in a couple hours. I'm not doing it. Well, the wife, mother-in-law goes, "You're going to help your wife out here." Long story short, I just kind of grabbed my staple gun, slapped it there on the counter, said, "You want to help her? You can do it. This is my house." And I am sure the hell not doing it. So we've had a little understanding, since then. My house, my rules, her house, her rules. And it's worked out so far since then.
Yeah, I never understood that about in-laws coming into their sons and daughters' home and going, "You've got to do this and you've got to do that and you haven't cleaned and I can tell you ain't dusted and you need to mop the floor." Bitch, go fucking clean your ass 24 hours a fucking day. Tell me how you like it. But anyway, Google, what are you guys doing for Christmas?
We are gonna unwrap gifts and
Oh, wait.
gonna make mashed potatoes,
Um,
and we have to go next door, and do a live video of some of the guys unwrapping their gifts.
Google.
Yeah.
You have to do a live video of the one present that Six got two of. Yes.
I know. I've been debating on whether I'll make him do that on Christmas Eve. Actually,
To get video of Storm and Tank opening their gifts.
I know.
That would be hilarious.
You know what's so funny? So when we put all the gifts under their tree, Tank was very well behaved, and then afterwards, when we were all done, he went over and he was like sniffing all the gifts. I'm like, Tank. And then Storm was doing that at our house today.
Tank's a smart motherfucker, I'll tell you what.
He is. You know what? We need to, right now, the only issue that we have with Tank is that when him and Storm are outside playing, because they don't get to play a lot, and Tank isn't outside a lot, he likes to take off. He's like, I am taking full advantage of this outside time.
So he'll get too far out of range.
Oh, well, they go down the road and over the broken bridge and come up on the other road.
I'm sorry. I have to say this, Google, because as you were talking, your headset done the robot thing. Right as you said, they go up and over, and it's like what would happen if we had CB radios and we were out of range. When we went up and over, that's all we heard.
And then you laughing at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness. No, they go up and over the bridge and all the way like down into town and go all the way around and come back.
Wow. They go on a fucking wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. They do. They do.
If you boys hear banjos, you come right back home.
It's kind of funny.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Oh, we lost Bender for a bit because his computer decided to shit on him again.
Poor guy.
So this is what happened.
Finally has the time to come on the show and hang out with us, and his fucking shit don't want to work.
So we're talking, and he's like, so the computer I used back in October to record the Halloween bit, it wouldn't, he plugged it in, it wouldn't come on, no lights, nothing. So he gets this shitty computer that he, quote unquote, in his own words, retired. He said, I get on it, and then it tells me my audio is not working. So I restart it. I get on Zoom, start listening to you, talking to you. Then it tells me that I have to restart, so I restart it again. And then he gets back on, he's like, and then it tells me my audio equipment is still not working, so I have to restart it again. And the last time he got on, I swear to God, it sounded like a moped in the background going, the entire time. I was like, because he goes, how's the audio? And I tell him, and he's like, I don't know what it is. And I'm like, maybe it's your laptop fan? He's like, it might be. So he restarts his computer again, comes back. It's not as loud, but the connection was 10 times worse. So, I feel sorry for him. I do, man. I wanted to just help him, and I didn't know what to do because I couldn't figure out what was going on.
Of course, his computer would shit the bed at right before Christmas when we have a government shutdown.
Yeah, everybody's talking about that. They're like, "What's going to happen now?" And I'm like, "I wouldn't worry about it until somebody says checks aren't going out. That's when I'll start worrying."
Well, the argument is that how dare he shut down the government right before Christmas because now no government employee can buy Christmas gifts. I'm like, they would have already bought them. They're off for the next 4 days.
And that's not true either because I'm a civil service employee and they've already budgeted it into the next fiscal contract. So I'm not getting shut down as a civil service employee. So
well, on top of that, if you make over $100,000 a year and you can't buy Christmas presents for your family and friends, you need to go get a fucking what's it called? An accountant for your life, you fucking dweebs.
Is that an EBT accountant? Sorry, asking for a friend.
You know, talking about EBT, I actually seen another article the other day that was complaining that people on food stamps buy steaks. And I was like, oh, so they're not entitled to have steaks because they don't make enough money when they work 3 jobs to buy a fucking steak. That's what you're telling me. Fucking people.
I mean, here in Massachusetts, they're talking about letting people on food stamps use them to purchase weed.
Oh, sure, why not?
I know, right?
I would love to purchase. I would love to purchase some weed, but VA says I can't even have Marinol because there's not enough studies out there for Crohn's. But we'll give it to.
It might actually be effective. We don't want to try that.
Right? Yeah, she calls me up and she's like, "We can't do that because there's not enough research and studies." And I said, "Oh, so you can give it to someone that's having headaches, but not for someone who's got Crohn's?" And it's been proven that marijuana in a medical usage can actually help. Yeah, I can't find that anywhere. I was like, whatever. I was like, let's just keep killing me with the fucking steroids. And she went, I'm
That would've been
sorry.
like, you want me to send the article?
That whole thing's still absolutely ridiculous. At this point in my life, I really have no interest in pot for any use. But I really don't give a fuck. Like for recreational, people want to use it for recreational. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
But especially with people that it can help, people with cancer and all kinds of issues. I mean, it's been proven to fucking help. So why is there even an argument here?
No.
But yet we can fucking give our troops anti-malarial medications that can cause permanent brainstem injury. That's perfectly fucking acceptable, but don't let somebody smoke a fucking plant.
Yeah.
I want to take those
meds. Recoil. I mean, I'm right there with you. I was never an advocate for pot whatsoever. Yeah, I tried it before I came into the military, whatever, but never been an advocate for it. But since then, obviously looking at research and everything else, by all means, if it's helping brothers and sisters, by God, I mean, better than the fucking, the medical concoction of fucking pills that they're giving people.
It was perfectly fine up until 1970s when some white ass dickhead racist supremacist said, "Hey, I've got an idea. Let's tell everybody that smoking weed turns you into a horrible black person." And that's literally where it comes from. I'm not joking. One motherfucking white supremacist racist, and I'm not being a stereotype. You can look this shit up. That's how it happened. Some dickbag went to the White House and done this shit. So thank you, Mr. Dickbag, for ruining everybody else's life.
I guess it's too late to send him a bag of dicks.
I was going to say something,
We're not
but
even going to go there.
I was going to say something, but then people would be like, Bo has no heart. Fuck you guys. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. He needs a dick shoved up his fucking corpse is what he needs.
It's just amazing. You hear people with the fucking argument, oh, it's a gateway drug. Now, let me tell you what a fucking gateway drug is. How about all the fucking opioid pain medications that the VA for years was jamming down everybody's fucking throats? Jeez, what else is an opioid? Fucking heroin, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. The way you done that. Just the way you done that. I loved it. But yeah, seriously. And that was another thing that they pushed back in the 70s was, it's a gateway drug to cocaine and harsher things like heroin. Like, bitch, no, it isn't. And marijuana wasn't even a problem until they made it illegal. Just like prohibition. Remember prohibition? Probably not, because none of us were living then. But you look at history books and you read actual fucking history, not what the fucking media wants you to see. And it caused murders. It caused people to die because they would take radiator copper and make homemade fucking alcohol, whether it was moonshine, wine, beer, whatever, out of the shit. And it had antifreeze in it. And they were killing people.
The best creation out of it. NASCAR. You forgot NASCAR.
Right? the reality is alcohol actually is a problem. I mean, alcohol actually causes problems.
Yep. But it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Yep.
It's okay.
There are a lot of people. It's fucked up. I mean, those of us that are non-alcoholics we can't even really get our heads wrapped around it. But there's people they're truly addicted. They absolutely need their alcohol. And I have family members that are or have been down that path.
Yeah. And there's people that are going to say, well, smoking too. Yeah, smoking causes problems, but I guarantee you it doesn't have half the shit that we're talking about has in it. I can guarantee it. Smoking is not good for your health. I will be the first one to fucking admit that. But I can also tell you that in its original fucking form, tobacco and coca leaves and marijuana, they're completely fucking human consumptional safe. Completely. But when you cut it with shit, yeah, it's gonna fuck your fucking body all to fucking pieces. Because we have to be greedy and we have to make things go as far as we can and make as much fucking money as humanly fucking possible. Because that's what it comes down to at the end of the goddamn fucking day. Fucking money.
You know, my kid's sperm donor used to try to tell me that he was only an alcoholic because his dad was an alcoholic. Although
bullshit.
That's the thing. He never met his dad. He doesn't know who his dad is. And I'm like, how can you tell me that someone you don't even know is the reason you're an alcoholic? Like, no,
well,
that's not how this works.
That's like watching an episode of Dr. Phil. There's some things I like to hear him say, and I love to see him rim some people's fucking asses at times. But then he also says things like, well, I understand why you are the way you are, because your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your grandpa, and even your second cousin removed by marriage is like that. And it's genetics. Bitch, no it ain't. No it fucking ain't. He admits that his dad was an alcoholic. Man's never supposedly drank in his fucking life, but yet he can tell other people you're drinking and you're an asshole because of your fucking genetics. No. It's because you're a fucking asshole. That's why.
I know. No, I always thought it was funny how he's like, well, it's because of my dad. My dad is an alcoholic. I'm like, you don't even know who your dad is. Like, how would you know that he was an alcoholic to begin with?
Right? Can't stand that shit.
I love the idiocy.
Yeah. Having an asshole is genetics. Being an asshole is not.
Yeah. Yeah. No, having an asshole is DNA, not genetics.
Well then.
Oh my god.
This has been an interesting show.
That it has.
I thought this was our Christmas show.
Christmas to you.
There you go. There you go. You want it's a Christmas show. There you fucking go. So you sound sick over there, Recoil. Did I give you what I've got when I tickled your balls last night?
I'm gonna say yes.
I was talking to a friend.
This has been awful. I haven't had a fucking cold like this in years, and it's fucked up because it's like going through stages. Like it started off as like a sore throat, jammed up nose, head cold, and it has now turned around to like stomach bug, flu, virus kind of thing going on. It just all around sucks.
Did you get your flu shot?
Apparently I have it now.
Did you get
No, I did not.
Yeah,
keep it there on the East Coast. I don't want it over here.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of a shame. Like tonight was the one side of the family that has a Christmas party that I actually would have really enjoyed going to.
But he had prior obligations to Barracks.
I had to hang out with you assholes instead.
Oh man.
No, you guys are actually important people in my life. As fucked up as that is.
I wish I had a wah-wah track right now.
Right?
You know,
well, I guess you're gonna have to find one so that you'll have it for next time.
I'll do and I'll loop it and then I'll reverb it 500 times and crash my computer and then I'll render it. Because I know that's what's gonna happen. Fucking Microsoft again wanted to fuck every goddamn thing up. So I had to go through every fucking dark web fucking website possible and find a fucking download for my mouse, and it still didn't work. So now I'm using a wireless mouse that I absolutely fucking hate.
I'm sorry.
Fucking, it's so small.
They named it aptly Microsoft because it's got a micro cot. You gotta fuck with everybody to make yourself feel better about it.
They do. They do, man. Haven't you noticed that every time an update comes out, something of ours fucks up even more?
Yeah, well, then they have to have another update 2 days later to fix the fucked up update that they fucked up. when they fucked up the other update.
Yeah,
but and then fuck up the next update.
Yeah, and then that update will fuck up something else that you don't even realize until 2 weeks later. Like, fuck. And then the reason we don't use Skype anymore is because they're putting Skype on the back burner for more important things. So they fucked it up. Now they're saying we can't work on it right now because we don't have time. Y'all make trillions of dollars a year and you don't have time to fucking input some code between the 2,000 people that work on your fucking staff. Go fuck yourselves.
I was going to say, they don't have anyone that they can just put in charge of that?
Well, they probably don't want to hurt anybody's feelings with equality and job security and stuff, you know.
I think in my lifetime, which I've been around the whole time that computers have been around, XP was the best version that they had.
Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't mind going back to 95's theme with XP's programming.
Yeah, the cleanness of 95.
Yeah, it was sharp edges. It was clean and cut. And then XP's programming and coding.
When did the Arrow shit start? That was 7.
I think so, yeah. It was right around that time.
7 wasn't horrible.
No, but it started getting real glitchy then because they started adding all the flashy shit.
Yeah, that's true. That's when all your print drivers and shit quit working.
Yeah.
We had a $4,000 printer downstairs that wouldn't fucking print at the shop.
we had I think that damn thing costed it was a Walmart special, but it cost like $125, and it worked fine on the previous versions. And then out comes Windows 7. Please update your drivers for your printer. Never could find a fucking driver. Come to find out, it was obsolete as soon as that edition came out. Like, thank you, bitches. And Windows 10, man, the biggest fuck up in all of fucking Microsoft. It's like, you know, they're the ones that do Xbox, and everybody praises Xbox. And I'm not gonna lie, Xbox has got some great fucking video games. At the end of the day, however, they fucking suck. Ask how many people have the red ring of death.
Update by Bo.
Do what?
And this has been your tech update by Bo.
Well, I mean, we're talking about Christmas. Why not talk about Christmas gifts in a horrible fucking way?
Here we got the 30-minute nerd corner. That's all right. I can speak fluent nerd.
I've actually had people ask me if we would do either a gaming or technology or some type of fucking movie show, and I'm like, if you find me the motherfuckers that'll do a goddamn show and not complain that they've got to do a fucking show, I'd be more than happy we'll do a fucking show. But you see, we only have... Go ahead.
I'd love to have more programming, but like, people either one, don't want to put the work and effort into it, or number two, they don't want to do it on a volunteer basis. They want to get rich off of it. And it's like, hey, you know what? Fuck you. Like, that's not what we're here for.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
None of us make money off of this. If any of you believe that, you're greatly fucking mistaken. I can show you all the finances.
I pay money.
Yeah. Oink pays. Oink pays to be on the show. So.
It's all good.
Google will attest to it. We make no money from this. So if anything, we're below the red line now. So we're moving up slowly but surely. But we make no money. Some of us pay out of pocket for programs and to own licenses and stuff like that to bring you the shit that we bring you. And when you volunteer, that's what happens. That's the cost at the end of the day. But then people that say, oh, I'd love to do a show, and they actually see what goes into making a show. It's not just, I can talk about anything in banner for hours. They actually have to think about something. They actually have to make a format. It's not just sitting here and talking. It isn't. Trust me.
No, not so easy.
That's not to say that if we couldn't grow this thing, especially with other programming as well, that would bring it to the point where we could actually attract advertisers and money, then we would absolutely do that. And then that could fund a lot of other programs.
Exactly. And if you guys didn't know, that's what we're trying to do. We want to bring you guys a network of shows, of stuff to do, to listen to interact with. But we can't do that when people want to sit there and cry about it. We just can't. And when you come and do 2 shows and they're like, you know what, my wife's pregnant, or you know what, I got a show somewhere else to do, or you know what, I've got a job, Yeah, you had all of that before you started doing this. It's just because you're lazy and you want somebody else to do it, or you want to make a fucking career out of it. And that's nice if you want to do the latter, but we can't do that. It's impossible. But, yeah. If any of you want to do a show, seriously, yeah, no, seriously, if any of you want to do a show, we'd be more than happy to tell about things and set stuff up, but you have to actually commit to it. And if you do, email me, info@dbradio.net. Pitch your idea. I don't mind. Oink, Recoil, Google, we all talk about stuff like this all the fucking time with other people outside of this little fucking circle. And they have stuff going on, so unfortunately they can't. But we know they absolutely would if they didn't have 10 million things going on.
Yeah, I mean, we've even fostered other shows on this network already.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not even going to mention PTSDog. I mean.
Yep. So actually, speaking of PTSDog, we have a service dog show tomorrow night. That's December 23rd. PTSDog, Joaquin Watai, is going to take a little time to explain why advocating to do things such as require that service dogs wear a vest or be registered is a direct violation of the ADA. And trust me, it's not what you think. You need to hear the show and you need to look up websites and information via ADA or through PTSDog's Facebook page. Again, that's tomorrow night, 2000, 8 p.m. right here on dbradio.net. And all that is Eastern time for those assholes that don't understand that we're on the fucking East Coast. So that's how we live, except for Oink, who lives in fucking bumfucked Egypt snowland.
And the man looks amazing in pink lipstick.
Thank you. Oh, wait a minute. Was that me?
No, Joaquin.
Oh.
Did I miss something?
Did he lose a bet?
You missed something.
You've got to enlighten us there, Recoil.
Well, you'll just have to go look at his Facebook page. PTSDog.
I'm afraid to now.
He says he loves you, Recoil.
See that?
He loves you, point.
Love you, Recoil. That's how he said it. Love you,
I see that.
Recoil.
I like how he spells love with F-U-C-K. That's pretty awesome.
Well, I mean, when
I never could read it. It was taught in Illinois. So.
you gotta cut Joaquin some slack. He was in the Navy, and they have Marines with him, so they probably rubbed off on him a little bit. He forgot how to spell. Oh my God! You know what would be great right now is if we had a studio. We were all sitting in it, and we had like some Christmas themed alcohol. Speaking of Christmas themed alcohol, like what?
Like eggnog?
No. No. I tried that shit one time. Not in my fucking throat. Nope.
It's kind of soothing the way it comes out of your ass.
Yeah, it looks like what it is when it went in. I mean,
we had cans of eggnog when I was in Iraq. They sent us cans, literal cans of eggnog. I'm like, what the fuck are we going to do with this? We ended up throwing it away because nobody wanted the shit.
Well, you gotta make your own eggnog.
With what? Near beer?
No.
Straight bourbon, according to PTSDog.
Yeah, you don't put beer in eggnog.
Well, we weren't giving them our fucking stash in Iraq. That was not happening. I told you guys about all the whiskey bottles that were in between the chew walls, right?
God.
Like every time we would get a package, it would be 2 or 3 bottles in all of our packages. And the mechanics lived in plywood chew homes, and it was it was double walled, so the frame was in the middle, and then you had a piece of plywood on either side, and there was like a 6-inch gap up top near the roof. And when we would finish our bottles, we'd drop them down back there. Well, they decided to tear them down after we tore the cot down into a JSS. And let's just say they found quite a few bottles, Captain Morgan and Turkey and Maker's Mark, Jack, and a few others that I'm not going to mention.
Were they at least empty?
Oh, they were fucking dry.
All right then.
We had drywalls. Oh, come on. That was a good one. Fuck you guys.
It wasn't as funny as you think it was.
But we were laughing earlier before the show, let me tell you. Anyway.
That wasn't as funny as you think it was either.
Do what?
Nothing.
Oh my God. Since you've got, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 articles, 2 of which I sent her. Not gonna lie, I sent her 2 because I didn't know if she would have time this week, honestly, to come up with links. But anyway,
Because I was so busy wrapping Christmas gifts.
Oh my God. She messages me at like 2 in the morning the other night, and I'm like, what does Google need? Something's wrong. That's the only time she's ever messaged me late at night that is when something's wrong. She messages me and I'm like, I've got to answer this. Something's wrong. It's DB6 or one of the bets, or she needs me for something or whatever. So I get on. I just got finished wrapping 5,000 presents. I don't think she said 5,000. She told me the actual number, and I was like, I'm sitting here and I'm a little upset now. Because when you see Google or Recoil or Six or someone like that message you at 2 a.m. and then you say, I just got finished wrapping so many fucking gifts, your heart stops beating tremendously. And then this warmth comes over you. And then a little bit of steam comes out of your ears. And then you go, why the fuck are you messaging me?
And then you gotta pee. I mean, it's the old man things. I understand.
But yeah, she wanted to, I think she wanted to talk for about another hour because she kept trying to say things and I didn't know what to say. A, I had no fucking clue what to say. B, she just kept talking about these presents. And I'm like,
I was so done, and then I realized I still had more. I kid not. I spent like 6 hours today wrapping more fucking gifts.
Shit.
Like, in this past week, I've spent like 30 hours wrapping Christmas presents.
30 hours wrapping presents? Why didn't you fucking get paid or go to Target or somewhere and wrap presents and get paid?
My God. It was like
bags.
forever.
Get some fucking gift bags, Recoil says.
Oh, God.
Well.
No, but, like, I'm good at wrapping Christmas gifts, but holy shit.
You can have the vets have them wrap each other's gifts.
I'll tell you what. We'll go to break. We'll come back. We'll do Junk That's in the News. And we'll finish up our Christmas show right here on dbradio.net.
Hey, fuckers. It's that time of year again. Time for your favorite Christmas carols by DV6. This one is called Sniper Wonderland Song. Hope you like it. In the valley, there's a lady. In her arms, she got a baby. As I lock and load around, the baby hits the ground. Walking in a Sniper Wonderland. We can plant a claymore in the meadow. Set it for 12:30. We'll blow the fucking commies out of their boots now. And they all go straight to hell. Later on, we'll rape and pillage. Hey! As we burn their fucking village! A one-shot kill from the top of the hill. Walking in a Sniper Wonderland. Last verse. In the valley I hear a baby crying. So I start to chamber another round. I laugh as I watch the baby's head flying all over the ground. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, bang! Da-da-da. This has been Sniper Wonderland Song with your asshole DV6. Have a very merry fucking Christmas. Really, love you too.
DV Radio.
From all of us to all of you, Merry Christmas.
Let's get it on.
We got some bread made for you. The music.
Let's go! You're listening to WTVR on dvradio.net. By veterans, for veterans.
simply made for you.
You big dummy.
And now, it's time to find out what stupid junk is in the news.
That's your cue. I'm sorry. That's correct. I was like, oh man, that's me. I was in the middle of something.
It is.
Alright, so here we go. The news. Oh my god, what is wrong with this website? Alright, we'll start because the Super Bowl is coming up in just a short little while. And half a dozen performers have rejected the Super Bowl halftime offers. So Maroon 5 is the one that did accept the Super Bowl halftime offer that was extended to him, but many others declined because they are social justice warriors and said, I will not perform until Colin Kaepernick gets his job back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to perform until some team spends millions of dollars on a mediocre quarterback.
Right. Yeah. And it's gotten even worse. Like, Amy Schumer says she will not appear in any ads.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, because anybody cares.
Amy Schumer.
Right.
Sorry.
Rihanna will not perform during the Super Bowl. There's
I'm tears.
Mary J. Blige, Usher, Lauryn Hill, Nicki Minaj. None of them will perform until Colin Kaepernick gets his job back.
All the people that nobody gives two shits about.
Amen.
Exactly. Now, as I said, Maroon 5 has accepted the offer. They will be performing. However, now the Super Bowl and the NFL is trying to get two other artists because Maroon 5 is not diverse enough.
I was just going to say, ironically enough, the only white band that they offered a spot is the only one that took it.
Mm-hmm. So Maroon 5 will be performing, and they're hoping to get two other artists because, as I said, Maroon 5 is not diverse enough.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of pretty boys that's in their 40s trying to look good for teenage girls.
Right. So
I mean, that's
so
literally what they are.
There's your Super Bowl news. I will keep you guys updated if there's anything else that's breaking on this.
Hey,
thanks.
Recoil. Recoil, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but Maroon 5 is the modern day Offspring.
With talent.
With talent, yeah. He can sing. I'm not gonna lie. He's got a voice on him.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really my style of music, but I have to admit they're good at what they do.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to country performers happening there? I mean, just asking for a friend.
That's just way too redneck. They all like flags and shit.
Yeah.
I know, right?
They like
They'll
America.
say every goddamn national anthem. Fuck you. We ain't going to have them there.
All right.
Funny. Too funny. So yeah, that's your NFL Super Bowl update. I doubt that there will be any more breaking news.
So we're not going to have like a racist Black Panthers halftime show this time around?
No.
Oh.
But it will be a racist white guy.
Oh.
You know what? You know what? Really quick, speaking of racist black guy and Black Panthers and all, I actually watched at First We Feast, the Hot Ones episode, and it had Weird Al Yankovic on it. And they asked him about Super Bowl and all. And they brought up Kanye West. And he said, I actually think that Kanye West is a modern day Andy Kaufman. I think half of what he does is just to get publicity or to make a joke of something. But nobody's getting the fact that it's jokes. And I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense because he does a lot of ridiculous fucking shit.
That doesn't make any sense because Andy Kaufman was funny.
I know. He said he's trying to be the modern day Andy Kaufman. He didn't say he was.
Nice.
Yeah.
Travis Scott will be performing with Maroon 5 at the Super Bowl.
No clue who the fuck that is.
Apparently he's a rapper. That's all I know. And he's black, so that's probably why.
You're shitting me. A black guy named Travis.
I was about to say, I thought of this like blonde-haired pretty boy when she said Travis.
You say
Scott.
Travis, I'm looking for a dude with a piece of fucking straw hanging out of his mouth.
No.
That's too funny.
Oh man. Anyway. Oh. So there you have it. Travis Scott will be performing with Maroon 5. This is the oldest customer complaint in history, and Bo is the one that sent this one in. There's a lot to say about the human race and how we've changed over thousands of years, but there's one thing that we have always been throughout history, committed to complaining. The oldest complaint known to history is to be found on a tablet from ancient Mesopotamia. Sorry. And the complaint says, I'm trying to find it, Bo. Where's it at?
Where it says the complaint, it actually starts in the middle. It says, "What do you take me for? That you treat somebody like me with such contempt?" Nani demands, thanks to a translation of the letter from the distinguished Azerologist Leo Offenheim. It goes on to say, "Is there anyone among the merchants who trade with Telman who has treated me in this way? You alone treat my messenger with contempt." Then they talk about some more Arabic bullshit. "How have you treated me for that copper? You have withheld my money bag from me in enemy territory. It is now up to you to restore my money to me in full," he demands. After all, this, though, we suspect that Nani had no other option than to shop with Nazir, as he concluded the letter with this: "Take cognizance that from now on I will not accept here any copper from you that is not of fine quality. I shall, from now on, select and take the ingots individually in my own yard, and I shall exercise against my right of rejection because you have treated me with contempt." And then the article ends, "Well, we don't know about you, but that's going to be our go-to retort to customer services from now on." So that's the first known translation of a customer complaint to a merchant. And it's on a fucking tablet, literally etched in fucking rock. And it looks like they just pieced together a fucking puzzle. And when you look at this picture.
Yeah, right?
It does. It looks like somebody like took a fucking piece of metal and just chipped away at the rock. It doesn't even look like any kind of fucking anything. It doesn't look like...
The tablet is part of the permanent collection of the British Museum.
One thing I can tell you for sure about the human race is that we're losing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, moving right along. I do have a political article, and it's because she's such an idiot. She's so retarded. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be saying that about someone, but she really is. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez claims no age limit for female presidents in Constitution.
Brainless fucking wonder.
Yes. So, so we're back for yet another episode of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says the silliest things. Everyone's favorite congresswoman with 11 syllables to her name, but lacking 2 brain cells to rub together, truly is a marvel.
No address to send a bag of dicks to. Just saying.
She's claiming the Constitution's age limit on presidential candidates only applies to people with dangles, i.e. men. According to a recap in Politico's playbook, Ocasio-Cortez was doing a political photo shoot at Harvard University when she and a photographer joked about a potential presidential run. And she says, "You can't even run." Oh, the photographer said, "You can't even run for president for another 6 years," because she's only 29 years old. And so Alexander
She knows that.
responded with, no, not for a long time, although we've been joking that because the Equal Rights Amendment hasn't been passed yet, the Constitution technically says he cannot run unless he's 35. So what we'll do is, who is she talking about when she says he? See, she doesn't even make any sense. So what we'll do is we'll force the Republican Party to pass the Equal Rights Amendment by threatening to run for president. And she does truly believe, though, that there's no age limit for women. Age requirement.
Yeah, well, there you are.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, well then.
Here's your bag of dicks. Shut up.
Oh, man.
Just saying.
It's so
funny. Give me an address. I'll send them. I don't care.
I don't know where to... Oh, she has no address. She's homeless.
I know, right? I've searched, damn it. I've searched.
No. This is great. She was elected into office, and then she was trying to raise money because she has no money to purchase a home. Or
yeah, she can afford an apartment in New York. Well, no shit. 1,200 square foot apartment cost you like $2,500. Fuck.
Oh, it's great. It was great. I'm like, this is phenomenal.
Dumbass. Here's your sign.
Right? Now the question is there an age requirement to be vice president? And I don't have the answers to that, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, like mostly presidents and vice presidents are pretty old. Oh, good. I'm trying to type it into Google, and the first thing that comes up is there an age requirement to buy condoms?
Wonder what Google's been looking up lately.
Oh, man. Okay, so in the U.S., a person must be 35 or over to be president or vice president. 30 or over to be a senator, and 25 or over to be a representative.
It wasn't initially intended that the winner would be president and the runner-up would be vice president?
Yes.
Yes. But that's not how we're doing things anymore.
No.
That was back when men had muskets and balls and they had a reason to bear arms.
Especially the balls part.
Oh,
yeah, right?
Wait for it. Wait for it. I gotta back that up some in the fucking podcast because I didn't have my fucking palette open.
Why is it 35?
Because
it's called the Constitution.
Yeah, because some bullshit about you should have so many years in politics and shit like that. But most people by 35 are just getting out of college nowadays, so.
Yeah, back then people by 35 had already raised kids and knew what the fuck was up.
Yeah, they probably had fucking college students of their own.
Right.
And now it's a basket weaving degree, so. God damn, they're important.
You mean feminine arts studies?
Oh my god, that shit.
Is that what her shit is? I thought her shit was in fucking economics.
Oh man.
She doesn't understand it. Whatever.
Gender studies. The study of how to become a woman and cry about it. That's basically what it is.
It's great. All right, moving along. A black man tried to cash a paycheck. The bank called 911.
I swear to God, Google, I swear to God, it sounded like you said black man.
A black man.
What was his name, Travis?
No, it's Paul.
They're like, dude, there's no fucking way your name is Travis.
Paul McCown's story of banking while black is the latest instance of 911 being called on people of color for no reason.
I picked this article for a reason. Just keep listening.
This happened in Brooklyn, Ohio, and he went to the bank. He less than a month into a new job. He was going to cash his first paycheck, and instead of getting his money, he found himself in handcuffs after bank employees called the police. It's just the latest incident in a steadily growing list of black people who have been subjected to 911 calls and police intervention over completely innocuous behavior. This happened on December 1st. Since he wasn't a regular customer at the bank, he was asked to present 2 forms of identification as well as a fingerprint, and he readily offered all 3. The bank employees were still suspicious of the roughly $1,000 check, and after several calls to McCown's employer went unanswered, they declined to complete the transaction. What? And they called 911 instead. After being handcuffed and placed in the back of the police cruiser, officers contacted the 30-year-old man's employer. My employer said, yes, he works for me. He just started, and yes, my payroll company does pay him that much. So they didn't even believe that he would earn that much money.
Wow.
Brooklyn Police Chief Scott Mielke said that there have been close to a dozen cases of police being called out to that Huntington Bank branch since July, all of which resulted in arrests for fraudulent checks. A bank spokesperson confirmed this, saying that the employees who called the police were simply being vigilant, including the one that called the cops on this law-abiding moneymaker.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy. It's crazy. Well, was there like other stuff that you wanted me to say in this article?
Was there anything else?
The funny thing about that article is it's from MSN for one, and two, the way they talk about the beginning, just that first part where Recoil laughed his ass off about
banking while black.
Yeah, like it's MSN, who is one of the most quote unquote politically correct out there, and they're making jokes in a very serious matter, which is obviously stereotypical racism on the bank's behalf. And I'm like, oh my God, we have to talk about this. That settled it for me when I read that first sentence. I was like, oh shit.
It's ridiculous. I mean, come on. I guess if you've had that many fraudulent checks, though.
Yeah, but to downright say, hey, you can't cash this here, that's wrong. Right. I understand.
Especially when he's provided everything that they asked for.
Right. And they still denied him, and they still wanted to give him hell, and they still wanted to do this, that, and the other. I'm like, yeah, I've never seen a bank ever do that to anybody, not to that extent.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep. This will teach him to have a bank account.
I hate bank accounts. I don't trust them. I don't.
Well, here's we have a couple stories left so more than a couple, but they're all like kind of Christmas ones. So Hershey is investigating after cookie bakers complained that just the tip of the Hershey Kisses are lost.
Just the tip.
Exactly. The Hershey Company is investigating after a group of expert cookie bakers discovered a problem with the popular Hershey's Kisses. The tips are missing. These bakers count on a well-formed chocolate kiss for Christmas cookie mainstays such as peanut butter blossoms, and the cookies simply don't look as good with a broken chocolate top. The defect has prompted some bakers to add sanding sugar, white chocolate, or sprinkles on top of their peanut butter blossoms to disguise the jagged tops. Other bakers are pushing the kisses into the dough upside down. So I guess it's an upside down kiss then? I don't know. But they're trying to, Hershey, I guess, is trying to figure out how all the tops broke off their Hershey Kisses.
I'm so fucking confused right now.
The tops broke off.
I think it's a publicity stunt, but whatever.
someone did tweet out a photo, and it's got the elf on a shelf with a pair of whatchamacallits, nail scissors, like the tiny little scissors, cutting off all the tops of the Hershey Kisses. It's pretty funny. So there's your cooking mishap one. Meanwhile, in Scotland, there's a bakery there that has changed the name of their gingerbread man to gingerbread person. The traditional gingerbread man is set to be changed, as it will now be called a gingerbread person. This change is to try and avoid offending people.
Because I was really offended by cookies.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was so offended by that big cock in between a gingerbread man's fucking legs.
This decision to change the name of the traditional treat comes to staff at the Scottish Parliament coffee shop is now being banned from saying gingerbread man. Holy rude workers have had to change the labels on the treat over fears that it may cause offense. This new rule comes as bosses set out strict equality rules. Yes. A Parliament insider spoke with The Sun, and they also thought that this was a ridiculous idea. The insider said, they still stock man-sized tissues in the shop. What are we supposed to do with them? Yep, so it's a gingerbread person now, not a gingerbread man. Sorry, guys. Elderly neighbor bought 2-year-old's Christmas present for the next 14 years before he died. This is a good story. So this man, Ken, was in his late 80s, and for the past 2 years, Ken has doted over his neighbor's daughter, Katie, up until his recent death. Then, on Monday evening, Ken walked over to the Williams' house with a surprise from her late father. Says our elderly neighbor passed away recently. His daughter popped around a few moments ago, clutching a large plastic sack. Shortly after tweeting this, in the sack were all the Christmas presents he bought for our daughter for the next 13 years. So for 13 years to come, she will have at least one. Yeah. So there you go. That's your feel-good story. I think it's pretty sweet. Maybe that's just me. And then we have one final story. This is kind of people wanting to be politically correct while changing history at the same time. A survey was done, which resulted in finding that some want Father Christmas, or Santa Claus, to be gender neutral. Word riding beardless Santa Claus. Some respondents survey think this Christmas icon needs an upgrade. I don't think that they realize.
Google.
Santa Claus. Yes.
Do you guys hear somebody snoring?
Yes.
I do not.
I swear to God, I think it's Oink.
Oink!
What?
He was asleep! He was!
What? What, me?
Oink was fucking snoring. He fucking...
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
No.
He was fucking...
Then Oink, what's this latest story about?
Yep.
Oh my God! I heard in the very faint distance.
Oh man, that's funny.
Oink! I was only 2 minutes behind you, brother.
You're there.
So this survey was done. About 23% of respondents think Santa should have an iPhone, while 25% said St. Nicholas should wear sneakers or trainers. 18% said he should be more hipster, while 22% said he should play in reindeer for his hardworking elves. Another 23% said he should use Amazon Prime instead. So there you have it. As for Santa's appearance, 20% of the respondents said he should have tattoos. 21% said he should go on a diet, while 18% said Santa should get a new hairstyle. And roughly 11% said Santa should be female, while about 17% said he should be gender neutral. Just over 70% said Chris Kringle should remain male.
My mom told me about this the other day.
If we have a gender neutral Santa, then what about Mrs. Claus? I don't think that she'll be happy.
They could be lesbians.
I mean, come on. Like, let's change history and what, you know. Just because.
Let's change the gender of this imaginary person that we lie to our children about.
Well, let's change this imaginary person that's based on an actual person. Oh man, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Come on. Can we stop with the PC bullshit? It's like they've tried to ruin every holiday. Now, on a brighter note, the radio station out in California that was had stopped playing Baby It's Cold Outside, they started playing it again, and they actually did like 5 different versions of it and put it on an hour-long loop after they got so many complaints because they stopped playing it.
Wow.
So there you go.
Oh, we were waiting for you to say that's your news.
Oh, that's all I've got.
I'm trying not to fucking sneeze. Oh my god. Ooh, that hurt. So nobody understands, but when I sneeze, I have to hold it back, because if I do a full-fledged sneeze, it blows my back out. Well, when I hold it in, it feels like my fucking spine is being ripped apart. But anyway, that was the rest of, yes, Recoil. I'm on there with you, that with you. You know what I'm trying to say. Oh my god. Anyway, please go to Twitter at @DV_DV Radio. Follow us. I put up some funny shit this week and nobody fucking liked it. And I'm crying. Not really. I've not done a lot this week because I've been very busy. Anyway, YouTube, Dysfunctional Veterans and DV Radio. We are bringing videos to those channels. Just give us time. We have a lot going on, but I promise you, it's coming. Roundtable discussions with PTSDog and that, the Service Dog show that we done, back in October. It is coming. I'm still working on it. I wanted to get all of this stuff updated and finished, and I have some stuff for the new year at the beginning that I wanted to get ready for. Also, there's a thing called is it a forum? Is that what, Recoil? You know so much about it.
We have a forum that gets you off of standard social media, and that would be dvbarracks.com. You can get over there. Go ahead and get yourself an account set up. You can log in using either your email or your Facebook login. Once you're logged in, you can go to the top right-hand corner of the screen, click on your profile. You can change your name to any call sign that you want to use. You can change your photo to any photo that you want to use, and you are free to peruse the forum in anonymity. It's great. Really should check it out. It has all the typical DV fuckery, but it also has my personal favorite section, which is a peer support section. That's brothers and sisters like you and me looking out for brothers and sisters like you and me. Right now is a tough time of year for a lot of brothers and sisters. So really would be a good time to head over there if you haven't already and get signed up and just read through the posts, and try to help keep an eye out, because, you know, the mods do a fantastic job, but they can't be everywhere all the time. So any help is greatly appreciated. So one last time, that's dvbarracks.com. dvbarracks.com.
It's the Christmas holidays. Go over to dvbarracks.com right now. Get on the forum and show your Christmas shenanigans. Is there anything that I'm forgetting? MyDVStore.com, dvfarm.org, smile.amazon.com, make DV Farm your charity of choice. Also, get ready for the new season of Contraband starting in January. And if you guys have any shows, please bring them to us. We'll talk it out. We'll figure out how to do it. We've got some stuff coming up on the other side of January 1st that I think you guys will like, and you'll get to read a lot of stuff. That's all I'll say about that. Google, do you have any last words for tonight?
I don't think so. Have a good Christmas and safe travels if you're going anywhere.
Oink, are you still awake over there?
We are.
Wanted to make sure. You got anything for the people tonight?
No, just keep looking out for each other. Learn 6, and we're here for you.
And Recoil, please don't slur your words like Oink did.
As always, be safe and keep looking out for each other, fuckers.
Yes, and I'm sure DV6 would tell you all to have a merry fucking Easter. Please be careful. Seriously, be careful. If you need anything, just holler. Somebody's around 24/7. If they're not, go to the forum. There's someone there 24/7. Please. I don't have anything else for you, but Merry Christmas. We're going to have one more show, 2 more shows before January 1st. Hopefully, these fuckers will be here with me on New Year's Eve to bring in New Year's Day. But anyway, stay tuned for next week's show when we have Billy King from Nightcap Productions, What the Forecast, and Backseat Navigator. Anyway, until next week, Foxicles. Bye-bye.
Now, let me see. There's Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Dunder, Blixen, and Rudolph. Yes, they're all accounted for. A happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Ha ha ha! Ho ho ho!
I'll let you go get some sleep, man.
Making fun of me. I see how you are.
She was talking halfway through that last story. I heard.
That was me.
I was like, at first I thought Recoil was over there clearing his throat. I've been doing the entire fucking show, sitting here, and I'm like, that's not clearing up one's throat. That is snoring. And I was like, well, SRP isn't in here, so it's not him. And I was like, oh my God, if it's not Google's and she's talking, it's gotta be Oink. And sure enough,
yep.